I'm here with Amy back in Singapore. We're here in a Japanese tea cafe, Hafla, having green tea. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Welcome back to Singapore, Amy.
Yeah, it's
Today-
good to be back.
We're going to talk about Tesla's Q3 earnings report, our sentiment as Tesla investors, and to remind ourselves to look beyond the trees, step back and look at the forest as well.
Exactly.
So click subscribe, stay updated to more videos on Tesla. Amy, for many Tesla investors, the past 2 weeks feels like a roller coaster again.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And the earnings call was a little bit of a mixed bag this time. The positive news is incredibly positive. Tesla's long-term future couldn't be more bright, and Tesla increased their cash on hand. The debt is even less, 26 billion in cash. Tesla reiterated that they're going to be able to fund all their new projects and R&D and expansion out of their free cash flow. So they're not even intending to use that 26 billion in cash to be able to do that, which is going to be a really positive thing for the company. But we did get a strong warning from Elon Musk that interest rates were possibly going to affect the business, that it made it harder for people to afford cars. And of course we know that. And Elon Musk, when he warns about the macro environment, he tends not to be wrong because he runs several companies. So he gets to see an early warning compared to people that maybe are looking at lagging data. He's getting data before anyone else does. So he knows if the suppliers are like hungry for a deal because their business is falling off. He knows if the costs are increasing, if costs are going down. He knows what orders for products are. And so if he's getting a feeling that the economy is slowing, that we might be in for some short-term pain, it's probably not a bad idea to just reassess your own finances and see if you're prepared for that. On the long term, though, what we got the reiteration of several disruptive areas for Tesla that are still going full steam ahead. And we got very good news when you look at the compute, which is going to be one of the major limiting factors for AI is compute power. That NVIDIA data cluster is installed and already training. They're moving to a new type of training network to make the training easier to do with the video inputs that are coming in. There was a really good comment on one of Herbert's videos where a man went really in depth with it. I'd like to get his permission to post on the new training network advances. And then if you look at FSD itself, Elon Musk remains exceptionally enthused about version 12, and the competitor solutions are just kind of hitting that temporary plateau where it looked like it was really good, it looked like it was really close, that maybe it was going to be the solution, and now it looks like maybe that's not going to work at all. So if you're looking at LiDAR, like Cruise just had their operating certificate suspended in San Francisco following an incident. Now it was one edge case that maybe they could have programmed away, but more than that, it was the way the company did engagement cover-up regarding the incident that caused them to lose their license. But it really showed the value of Tesla's solution of that vision-based FSD. What did you think about that?
I think you remind us a lot on the short-term pain and also the long-term horizon. There's a lot of opportunity in the long term. There are road bumps right now.
Yeah.
I think right now with the progress of autonomy is that I've got a chance to try many other EVs. I just came back from Shanghai as well.
Yeah.
We hear a lot about
you
the local
did?
EV
Oh,
brands.
that's amazing,
Yes,
yeah.
our first visit to Shanghai, 5 days there. I'll publish a road trip video from Shanghai to Suzhou soon.
Excellent.
Well, we see a lot of news about other companies talking about their technologies. When you go back to the engineering, the fundamentals,
Yeah.
for example, you see all these fancy features in Chinese EVs.
Yeah.
But then when you ask them, do you have a frunk? A lot of them do not have a frunk.
Wow.
If they have a frunk, it's a very small frunk. What's the range and what's the battery reliability? What's the max charging speed?
Yeah.
The core engineering still remains a very true strength
Yes.
for Tesla.
Yes.
There is short-term pain right now. We feel it, we acknowledge it. You alluded to.
Yeah.
Let's hold on the cash.
Yeah.
Tesla has 26 billion in cash. Gary Black has a strong point of view on what the cash should be used for. For us as retail investors,
Yeah.
we also talked before this video that we should try to hold on to our own cash as well to create our own security and buffer, especially in the short term, the next 1 or 2 years.
Exactly. If just any money that you might need in a shorter term horizon, it's make sure that you talk to someone or you have that you have that protected. So if you need to fund a child's tuition, if you're going to do a down payment on a house, like this is not the time to have the money invested in Tesla and try and get a little bit of extra money for it. Like, don't like greed to get in the way of your financial security. Long term, though, there is so much that is still not valued in the Tesla stock, and one of those would be licensing FSD. And we know on the Q2 earnings call there was a reference by Elon Musk that they're in talks with the manufacturer to license FSD, and we didn't hear an update about it yet, but that is something that is not in the valuation that will like supercharging create a bump in the stock share price when the first deal is announced. And given what we know is going on with other FSD solutions, Tesla really seems in the best position, and it seems like their solution, we know it's scalable. We know the hardware is actually inexpensive enough that it already sits in all the cars. Not only does Tesla have Dojo and the NVIDIA cluster, which represents some of the largest supercomputers in the world, Tesla also has all the hardware that's sitting in all these cars already, which would give us, Elon Musk made a reference to it, the largest inferential level of compute. So in inference, when you look at it in AI, that's the ability to decide what to do. Like if it's been trained on stop signs and it sees something at an intersection that looks similar to a stop sign but it's never seen it before, it's the ability to make that leap and understand that that actually is a stop sign is too. And that's what you really are going to need to be able to have autonomous vehicles and FSD solution. And Tesla is far in the lead in that type of area of expertise, and that's also what the bot is going to need, which we haven't talked about yet, or the rise of Tesla Energy. So all these different potential areas of disruption.
I agree. Elon Musk has shared a few times that solving autonomy would be one of the greatest asset value increase in history, because our car is only moving about 5% of the time. 95% of the time it's stuck in a parking lot somewhere. Now, even if you're not an investor, the fact that a company is working on this is profound, it's inspiring, and it's transformative.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. You don't have to be an investor to be excited for it. And it's okay if you're investing in a competitor, because a rising tide will lift all boats. If Tesla solves for this, it just means more other companies will also solve for this.
Yeah, but the advantage of full self-driving is the rise of affordable transportation with less cars on the road, because the car without a human driver in it can be used almost 24/7, whereas a car with a human driver often sits underutilized. So it helps get us to that Master Plan 3 goal of the world of sustainable energy. It also would offer increased mobility for many that are stuck at home. Maybe if somebody gets elderly and can't drive themselves anymore, anyone that has a handicap, with a self-driving car, it will be a life-changing difference in the way that they can get themselves around, which is a really exciting vision of the future.
I wonder, right now we're thinking of Tesla's different products in parallel tracks. What happens if Tesla bot plays a role together with it? What if Tesla bot's in your car with you? Even if it's a steering wheel, you can drive the car for you. It still acts as an extension of Tesla's service to you, getting to your location for security, for escort, for many other features. How do you see that coming together?
I think that we know that the bot will first be used in the factory, and that might take all of Tesla's immediate production for the foreseeable future, because the use cases in the factory are so broad and will allow Tesla to train in a safe and controlled environment on the bot. So I haven't looked as much at what the potentiality is beyond that, but I again see it as completely disruptive. It can replace out a lot of nursing homes that we have in the United States, where we have sick or elderly people live in a place where they can get people to help them, because now the bot can help them. And so I find that exciting in my own future. One day when I'm old, the idea that I might be able to stay within my own house, have a full self-driving car and a bot, and can keep my own autonomy, I think is incredibly exciting. If one of the other positives on the earnings call was Tesla Energy, that they reiterated that Lathrop will be getting to the 10,000 planned megapack capacity. We know they still have an extensive wait list for the megapack, so there is no no demand concerns there whatsoever. Remember, the revenue recognition is going to be a little lumpy because the project has to be actually in place and in construction before they can recognize that revenue. So it might vary a little bit quarter to quarter, but Tesla promised that it's going to be their highest profit margin product. And energy is needed in high interest rate times, low interest rate times, good macro, bad macro. As a company, as energy starts to increase, it starts to insulate Tesla from these macro swings. And it starts to provide a steady source of revenue that is really exciting. We also had really good news on the 4680 front, and the Giga Berlin's expansion is going forward. So it was many bright spots in the earnings call, especially when you look at Tesla's long-term future. And when they talked about possibly pausing construction on Giga Mexico, they did specify that all long lead items, things like industrial machines, those are being ordered. All those plans are going ahead, and we know that the next gen product is on track. That was specified in the shareholder deck.
Yes.
That was also specified in Walter Isaacson's book. That the robotaxi design is done, the next gen design is done, and they actually have that pilot line built in Austin and are working on the tooling of every station and the production line and the efficiency of it. And that Elon Musk spent significant time all last summer working on that with the engineers. So that was really good news. And there could easily be next gen lines that don't have to sit in Mexico. There could be one in Shanghai. There could be one in Berlin.
Yes.
There could be an expanded production in Austin. 4680 plant is they got tremendous improvements in production. Cato Road is being retooled for the next gen of 4680, and they've announced the battery plant that is going in Berlin. Giga Nevada, we know, is going to be expanded. So there's a lot of bright spots. What did you think that most excited you on the earnings call or
What
for the
most
future?
excited me is that the energy business is already the most profitable business today. It's not science fiction, it's reality. You see it more and more.
Exactly.
The order book is still 2 years long. And Tesla also just recently reduced prices, I think from 1.4 to 1.2 million for a mega pack. In a time where energy costs are increasing, where reliability is even more important, that's going to bode well for Tesla. And this is a white space for Tesla. There are very few direct competitors to Megapack today because, as Tesla has said, it's not just building the hardware. The hardware in itself is easy. It's a hardware and software integration.
Exactly. It's not just a big box of batteries, it's a smart box of batteries.
Yes.
And it's even an AI product with the auto bidder, which does energy arbitrage for people that aren't aware, because
right.
they can sell energy that's stored in the mega pack to nearby energy providers at times when they are short on energy and have more demand than they're producing, and they gain a profit on that.
Yes. So for me, it's important just to remind ourselves as long-term investors. You always hear skeptics say, "Oh, anyone can copy Tesla." That's what they said about SpaceX Falcon 9 8 years ago. Anyone can make a reusable rocket. 8 years later, I just came back from China, and there's a whole government who wants to build a reusable rocket. It's not done yet. People say anyone can copy a Model 3. Anyone can copy a Model Y. If they can, why is the Model Y the top selling car in the world right now?
Exactly.
It's one of the youngest car companies in the world. You look at the largest car companies in the world, the pipeline, like Amy mentioned, we don't see the kind of pipeline. Even recently, you see some of the big car companies are still trying to downplay EVs, say, oh, EVs won't work in Australia, for instance.
Right.
And people say Tesla's so slow on marketing, but we think of marketing, it's not just advertising. There are Google ads, search ads, and people search carload calculators in the US. On top of that, we were talking before this video, when Cybertruck hits the streets at scale next year. Scale doesn't mean 350,000 cars produced per year. That'll take another 2 years.
Yeah.
But even if you just see 100 Cybertrucks in every major city daily, how does that change people's perception of what a car can be?
It instantly, it's so beautiful. It instantly makes every other truck on the road look dated. And we know that Elon Musk feels the same about the next gen and the robotaxi that has this really cool futuristic look to it. Maybe not Cybertruck look, but a futuristic look that heads are gonna turn when it comes around a corner, and it's instantly also going to make other cars look dated. So Tesla is just changing what a vehicle is. Tesla changes how a vehicle is produced. Tesla is also disrupting so many industries. Just if you look around, their services in the division with owning all the superchargers and now licensing those out to other OEMs, which is just the first of many opportunities for Tesla to license.
Future is bright. The current reality, it will feel like a storm. However, if you have a strong boat, the boat will weather the storm. And for investors, we often think hold cash, especially in tougher times. So right now, our outlook on the stock price, in the short term, anything can happen. There are a lot of different challenges. How has recent developments shifted your long-term outlook on Tesla?
It has not shifted my long-term outlook whatsoever. My long-term outlook, if anything, I am more excited about Tesla's future than I ever have been. But might be one of the times where I'm expecting the most volatility in the short term, where it's impossible. Like we could get a continuous ramp up on the stock after Cybertruck reveal and a delivery event, and they're on the street, or interest rates might be raised again and the stock price goes down. It's just so many variables coming in to the short-term valuation of the company that I find it completely impossible to predict, and I don't really care to predict it, honestly, because I do have a long-term focus. Yes. But when I look long-term, there's the areas I know Wall Street does not yet have in the valuation that Tesla is actively working, funding, and staying profitable by doing it, like AI, like possibly AI as a service, FSD, the growth of energy, robotaxis. All these things might have a little bit of value in the stock, but nothing compared to what the future value of the business will be.
Agreed. What I admire about Amy is that our convictions are built from ourselves. Amy has her own conviction. I'll build my own conviction. Conviction cannot be borrowed. We can't watch YouTube videos and go, okay, my conviction is up 20%. Build your own. We have our own ways, whether it's meeting other institutional retail investors, trying a product for ourselves. For some of you, it's understanding the financial metrics, not just today, but what it will be in the future. Looking at what's happening in the industry. There are a lot of strikes right now by the UAW that's impacting Ford and GM's most profitable factories. So Tesla should not be viewed just in isolation. And always remember, as an investor, many of us are investing for a particular goal. For some of you, Tesla is a means to an end. For some of you, Tesla is a mission. You believe in its vision. So hold strong to your convictions. Let us know how you feel right now in the comments. And this is not the first time we've seen this roller coaster. Many of us have been through January when the stock price was close to $100. The stock price is still double from January right now.
Yes it is. And we have a very exciting event coming up in just a couple weeks.
2 more weeks. You will find Amy at TeslaCon Singapore, 11 November at Pasir Panjang Power Station. She's going to be on a panel together with my friend Lars, and we're going to talk about Tesla's product roadmap beyond cars, energy, AI, and robots, to see how will this company be seen in the future. Our children will not see Tesla as a car company. That I'm very, very sure. If you found this video useful, please click the like button and hit subscribe to stay updated to more videos on Tesla. Thank you for coming down to Singapore again.
I love it here.